This is Kerrigan and Company. Banking shouldn't feel transactional. It should feel personal. At Rockland Trust Bank, we take the time to get to know what matters for your business so we can support what comes next, not just today, but for years to come. Because when you have a banker who knows your business, understands your goals, and sees your vision, that partner can make all the difference. Come bank where your relationship matters. Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters. Go to rocklandtrust.com for more information. Member FDIC. Hi, everybody. There's nothing common about the women of Boston. That's coming up next on this edition of Kerrigan and Company.
Kerrigan and Company is here for you. Yes, Kerrigan and Company is here for you.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kerrigan and Company. It's great to have you with us. If you're watching us on YouTube, want to remind you that we'd love it if you'd subscribe. And if you're not following us on social media, I hope you'll do just that. We have three powerhouse women joining us today, all of them from Boston, which is really great. You can't find this kind of talent in every city, but we have it here in Boston. And, you know, my producer and I got talking about it. We were like, who would we want to be a co-host who would like have, you know, the pulse of the city as we talk to these powerhouse women? And one name came to mind, and we are so happy that she could join us. Janelle Driscoll is with me, and Janelle is the group publisher from Modern Luxury. You have two magazines under your purview, that, of course, being Boston Common Magazine and Interiors New England.
Hi.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You and I have seen each other at events, and we've chit-chatted here and there, but we've never had a chance to really get to know one another.
I know. This is a great opportunity for us to sit down.
I know. I'm thrilled to be here. I have to tell you, I love gingers.
Oh, perfect.
My daughter, I say this every time, my daughter's a ginger, so I have a real, I have an affinity for...
There's usually, we're only one per family, so I appreciate that.
Well, that's it. And she is. She's our only one, but boy, we sure do love it. And, Janelle, it's so funny, we were just talking about, this is such a crazy time of year in Boston, especially in the business that you're in. But, I loved what you said. It's like Boston just all of a sudden takes a left turn and opens up the gates. And it's like events are happening. People are everywhere. It's craziness,
I know.
Right?
It's exciting, though. I mean, again, our runners take a left on Boylston. The city takes a left into event season. So it's a fun time. And I love that the city comes back to life after we've kind of sat still all winter long.
Absolutely.
And the weather seems to be cooperating so far.
You think she got the message finally?
We'll see. I don't know. It's always too early to tell.
The first thing that both of us said, too, of course, was you never know what you're going to wear during this time.
No,
I swear I've dealt with the same thing over and over.
I haven't done my closet switch changeover yet. So even though in my mind's still kind of like hanging on to March. So I think we're officially ready to
where
change?
I really get into the issue is, do I wear open-toed shoes or not? This is my big thing.
We first the pedicure, then the open-toed
There you
shoe.
go. Absolutely. You bet. Two magazines.
Yes.
It's really phenomenal. Let's hold up. I want to show everybody. This is the newest edition.
This is our April issue.
The April issue, which is absolutely beautiful. And this is with stylish Bostonians in it.
So this is our home and real estate issue, but it's also our annual Most Stylish Bostonians list launches with the April issue, which we're very excited to debut. It's a pretty coveted list to be on.
Absolutely. Well, we'll talk more about that as the show goes on. But that is the most recent Boston Common. We'll show you some of the other covers here in just a moment. Let's talk a bit about how you got to the position that you're in. You're very young, it feels like to me, to hold this job. And you've had some incredible steps along the way. Yeah. So where did it all start, and how did you get here?
So I started, I appreciate the young part. I started in publishing at New England Home Magazine, actually, and then quickly, after a year, went right over to Boston Common. So stayed in the publishing, advertising side. I was with Boston Common up until about 2017, and then kind of took a step back and actually opened up my own PR and marketing firm with a business partner.
JJ
Media. And it was fantastic, but I have an affinity for female entrepreneurship, but it's tough out there.
You bet. And you were coming into it just as sort of things got a little
as
bit rocky.
The pandemic started rolling. So, but we maintained, we stayed steady, learned a lot, honestly, in those. We had it, I mean, it's still open, but we had it really going for 5 years. And it was at the 5-year mark in 2023 where we kind of looked at each other. And I think at that time it was, it was in our best interest to kind of wind things back a bit. We were just kind of at different stages in our lives. My business partner had just had 2 kids back to back, which was very exciting. I was getting married. So it just was a personal moment for both of us that we said, maybe we take a pause here. I got married in that summer, 2023. And during that pause, kind of explored other options but staying in the media realm. Yeah. And it's a small city. And I had stayed in touch with Boston Common, which was, again, where I really started my career. Sure. And I took off on my honeymoon to Italy for 17 days. And it was the last day when we were in Rome that I received an email asking me to come back on to Boston Common. So I've been publisher of Boston Common since November 2023, and then stepped into group publisher last May.
Fantastic, yeah. Which is tell everybody what that job entails. What do you have to do as publisher?
Your hands are in a lot of different
I know roles because people know editor in chief. I know they think of that, but
and
it's
often confused with a lot, and that's fine. My editor in chief is Abby Balagas, and she's absolutely fantastic.
Abby's been a guest here.
Great. Yeah. She told me that. Yeah. But group publisher, basically, you're overseeing the business side of things. So we're overseeing the advertising, making sure that all of our advertisers, our sales team is out and running, distribution, really just everything that happens behind the scenes so that you have the pages to feature some great editorial. And so I do that for both Boston Common and Interiors. Again, we really cover New England. Sure. Boston Common really kind of focuses on Greater Boston since we are the hub. But Interiors New England rather really covers from Rhode Island all the way up to Maine.
So, I think that magazine life, to me, it's very glamorous in my mind. Yes. And I think a lot of people look at it that way. I'm practical enough to know that it's a lot of hard work. But talk to me about the magazine business at this point. You've been in it long enough and exposed long enough. Yeah. 2017 versus 2026. Tell me where we stand in the magazine bit world.
It's so interesting. We obviously saw so many shifts happen during the pandemic. And also as, the digital, media, social media has evolved. Influencers have entered the chat, quite literally.
Yes.
But we've seen a swing back to print, quite honestly, which is so fascinating. I think people are looking to put their phones down more these days, take a break, come up for air, and also pick up a magazine, which is really refreshing for me. As you mentioned, I definitely wouldn't come back to print if I thought it was a dying media form. So I think that there's always a need. I personally am constantly at the airport grabbing a bunch of magazines at Hudson News before I get on my next flight. But I do think that this is a quality product. We're a luxury lifestyle publication. And I think that there's clearly a want for it, which is really exciting and refreshing to hear.
Absolutely. You know what I love about the magazine world, too, is that I prefer to hold something.
Yes.
I mean, I feel that way about my newspaper. I feel that way about everything. But I come from old school, so, I would get rid of my cable if I could. Yeah. But I probably won't do that.
I still have to keep a little bit of a pulse on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to stay a little relevant. But having said that, I love that the magazine world has become a part, and especially your magazines, have become a part of the community. There's events associated with your magazine. Yes. People can go and touch and feel the people who are involved with your magazine. And I think that's really important to a community.
I think so, too. Our goal is to really show the profiles of the individuals that are changing the game across all industries. We have so much going on in our community. Mm-hmm. And, especially in the philanthropic world, the nonprofit sector, it's so important. Boston loves to give back, and we love that about our community and our neighbors. And I think it's really important to share those causes, who's behind them, what stories that how can we help tell those stories?
Sure, absolutely. So, It's great. I love it. I've been to a few just last year. You guys had this amazing issue. So this was the 20th.
That was our 20th anniversary. Yeah.
And then it was coupled with an unbelievable event that I was fortunate enough to be invited to, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful event.
Thank you. It really took a lot. I have to give credit to my entire team. I've got a staff of all women, which I love, and it was no small feat to get that to bring that together.
Yeah.
So
it was all different seasons. It was just it was beautiful. It was at SOA.
Yes, at the SOA Power Station.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Janelle, tell me what in your estimation is luxury, because that's what you're pushing out.
Yes. So I think it's also an interesting conversation to have today. I think luxury is more accessible today and looks very different than what it did back even 5-10 years ago, right? I think people think luxury, you automatically go to some of the luxury brands, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Givenchy, et cetera. And I think that now it's still that, and there's still a caliber, like it's something you want the obtainable or unobtainable, if you will, but I think more people have access to it, which I think is wonderful. And I think it's something to, just quality. Really.
Quality.
Yes, I think it comes down to quality.
Absolutely. So when you go out for content or you go out for advertisers, tell me what you're looking for then, because that's what you're selling.
I think it's the overall experience, right? It's not. It's what people want to touch, feel brands, and really make sure that it's of that certain caliber and quality.
Sure.
And I think I just want to. That's what I'm looking for through our partners or when we're covering something. It's making sure they're bringing the same type of expectations to the table that people have.
Yeah, when you took over, I think you said something about a renewed vision of the magazines.
Yes.
What's a renewed vision?
Well, I think again, I stepped in 2023 when Boston, everything had just we were starting to reemerge.
We were all looking for a renewed vision, weren't we?
The doors were opening, and I think everyone was saying, okay, Boston's not the same city it was when we closed down in 2020, March 2020, everybody can remember. Yep. And, a whole new neighborhood popped up in the meantime. Right. So many more brands have now come into our city, which is great. Some of the tried and true have reimagined themselves, which I also think is important. I think we know who we are, Bostonians, right? And but we still like to have some fun. And I think it's important that we show that to the world, right? Bostonians definitely have a reputation, but I think it's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. You have added some really cool features.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of those in 26. What people can anticipate. You just told us about one.
Yes. So we celebrated our Best of Beauty in the March issue. This for the April issue, we have our Most Stylish Bostonians, which is, like as I mentioned, a very coveted list to be on. Then we do Best of Travel, which is celebrating we celebrate national because Modern Luxury, our parent company, is a national company. But then we get granular. We talk about New England, traveling, hospitality in New England, which is right on the cusp of our favorite season. I think when our region really shines in the summer. Then we go into Power Players, which really looks, again, at profiles of those that are changing the game in their industries. And then Best of the City, which we love, celebrating, those that have continued to break the barriers, and Women of Style. We have a sports issue. We have it all, quite honestly.
Yeah.
We cover the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the idea of having events, I know you have a wonderful event around the holidays.
Yes, the Gift Guide Gala.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which is dangerous, by the way.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. It's our annual event. This last year, we did it at the Newberry Hotel. We've been producing that since, I believe, 2012 or 2013. Yeah. And that is our favorite. We have a very it's a great note to end on, the end of the year on.
Absolutely. It's just fantastic. I love it. I've also attended that, which has just been fantastic. So not every city has magazines like this. Why do you think it's important to Boston that we have these and support these? Because I think it really is important, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, the media landscape has obviously changed, and there's only a couple of publications left, so we take pride in that, and we want to really do well by our community. And I think that it's important they see themselves in the pages, whether they're attending events, supporting great causes that they care about, but also that we reflect and we tell their stories. they're working hard to put Boston on the map. So we want to reflect that. And I think they see that, and I hope that we do well by them.
Yeah, absolutely. Janelle, we do this thing here. It's called the Fast Five.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Why is it that everyone's response to that is, oh, boy?
I think I'm ready.
Can I tell you something? I know why it is, because I've been on that side of it, and it's horrible. So
I know. I hope I can come up with quick answers
before she starts. Fast Five is brought to us by Rockland Trust Bank, where each relationship matters. Visit your nearest branch or go to rocklandtrust.com to learn more. Are you ready, my friend?
Yes.
We'd like to do it in 30 seconds, if at all possible.
Okay.
What's your go-to restaurant in the city when you need to impress someone?
Grill 23.
If your life and a magazine cover line would be the same, what would you say it would say right now?
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that one's tough. I can't. That's too much. I want to say, ready for anything, I think.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
North End, Seaport, or Back Bay?
Ooh, I live in the South End. Can I bring that into the mix? And our offices are in Back Bay, so I have to give up to that.
There you go. What's the most unexpected story that ended up being a huge hit in Boston Common Magazine?
I think our 20th anniversary cover, that was incredible to have these powerhouses and share their stories.
If you could put anyone on the next cover, no limits, who would that person be?
John Krasinski. I've always he's a Boston guy, so I would love to put him on the cover.
And why don't you?
I mean, he's on the list.
Very good. Our friends at Rockland Trust would like for you to have that.
Thank you so much.
And they say thank you so much for playing.
Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.
There's no oh boys in this.
I mean, the headline, I'll work on that and I'll come back with a better one.
Yeah, I feel sure. I was thinking, when you were stumbling to think of what to do there, I was thinking bright and shiny should be your headline.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that. You know what? We'll go with that.
That's exactly what I find you to be, for sure.
Thanks.
All right. When we invited Janelle, we asked her, is there somebody that you'd like to interview? And you came up with a name, and it's somebody who's featured in the magazine.
Yes.
So we'll leave everyone with that as we go to a break and our sponsors chat with those who are listening and watching. And when we come back, you'll learn exactly who it is. So stay with us, everybody. This is Kerrigan & Company. Some banks focus on transactions. At Rockland Trust, we focus on people. Relationships come first because financial success isn't built in a single meeting or a single moment. It's built over time by listening and showing up, by being in your corner through every stage of life or business. Come bank where your relationship matters. Rockland Trust, where each relationship matters. Member FDIC. Do you need to buy new technology? Let AGI Beacon help you buy better tech for less. The team at AGI Beacon understands technology from the inside out. AGI Beacon provides expert guidance to help businesses navigate complex technology decisions with clarity. With AI transforming business operations at an unprecedented pace, having the right advisory partner is no longer an option. Go to agibeacon.com today to learn how they can help you with all your technology needs. That's agibeacon.com. This segment of Kerrigan & Company is brought to you by Allure Matchmaking. Your forever after is waiting for you. Find them through Allure Matchmaking. Go to allurematchmaking.com today. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan & Company. It's so good to have you with me today, and really good to be with me today is my co-host, Janelle Driscoll, of course, from Boston Common Magazine. She's the publisher there, as well as Interiors New England. I'm so glad you're here.
Me too.
This is so fun because we said we've met one another numerous times,
Yes.
but this is our first time to spend a little time together.
I know. I love sitting down on a gorgeous day like this.
Yeah, we have really lucked out. So I asked you, who should we have on as a guest? We always like to ask our co-hosts, because maybe there's somebody they'd like to interview, and this would be an opportunity. And you suggested our next guest, and I'm very excited because this is, number one, she's a stylist, which is so cool, and I love that. Makes you a little nervous when you're around her. I have to tell the truth about that. But she's also in the magazine, and she's considered one of the most stylish Bostonians. This is Tara West. It's great to see you. And the crazy thing about you, Tara, not only are you fabulous because you're a stylist, but you have a story that is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Dave told me, Tara West, and I was familiar with who you are because I know you as a stylist, and I think I follow you on social media. But I did not know your story. So you haven't always been a stylist. So let's share that with the audience.
Yes, I was a marriage and family therapist for a very long time. I was the best dressed therapist ever. And even my supervisor would say, you got to tone it down. But it was my passion. And I loved it, and I loved helping people. But at some point in that all, I was thinking, how am I going to become a stylist? I knew I wanted more, and I knew I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how to get there.
So do you think, though, that there's a tie between the two? Did you ultimately see a tie that, maybe brought you from both directions? You love fashion, but obviously you loved being a counselor of some
Yes,
kind.
there is so much psychology in what I do. First of all, when you look good, you feel good. And I think that when we walk into our closet and we see things that we don't wear, or when I lose 5 pounds, or these thoughts going through our head, we immediately self-deprecate. And psychologically, that's not healthy. And so what I like to do is go through and clear all that out and help you choose the clothes that are good for you now. Who are you now? Not when or then, but now. And then you look amazing and you feel great.
It's perfect timing because I'm doing a closet clean out. So, so I might have a few questions from you and need some advice.
But, all of us have that one thing. Maybe it's I have too big of a shoe size, or, I don't know, I'm very tall, or something. Everybody has something, right?
Right.
And so it's, how do I shop for that? How do I make myself feel good about that and look great? And I think, so psychology comes in every which way.
Yeah, I think that is so true. Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. When you feel good, you just project better. You just do.
Right.
There's no two ways about that. And I think fashion is an important part of it. I think there's a lot of people who deny that, but that's because they've never maybe worked with somebody like you.
Right. And I think that some of us consider it a luxury, in which it is. It's not a necessity. But I think if you invest in it, even one time, it makes a huge difference in your life, in your wardrobe. I had a woman I shopped with a couple of weeks ago. She didn't want to buy anything. We just went into a store, and I showed her exactly what fits her body, price point that she could go to, introduce her to new brands, and she just walked away with knowledge. And that's all she needed.
Right.
I think she's right, don't you? That the price issue can be, for a lot of people, they're afraid of someone like Tara because they don't want to get into the price part of it.
Well, I think that, but so I guess, Tara, for you, what's your biggest advice, for quality of product versus, trends, really? Because that, I think, is something that people get lost in translation, right? Like they see on social media, all these things are trending, and yet also there's pieces that that fit me that are better, the best.
Yeah,
So
I think not every trend is for everybody. And so if you're going to invest, don't invest in trends at first.
Okay.
Start on the lower end price point. And if it looks good and you wear it all the time, then invest. I think that, we can get caught up. Even I get caught up in things because, we see it visually all the time. And so I think just, be mindful. Like if it looks great on you, then spend the money, because you can find a dupe to everything at this point in time, right? We can find a lower price point of every single thing that we see, and so that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I think it's nice to try it on, to your point, and then build up to the investment piece.
Exactly. Because what I don't want is for you to invest in something and it just sits in your closet.
Yeah.
Because that is what we're trying to avoid.
Sure.
And that's the hardest one. You have to part ways with that one investment piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And your husband is also wondering why it's still hanging there with a tag on it. I've said this before on the show, and I'm going to say it again because it's worth repeating. My mom always had this. She lived by this, and she has 2 daughters, and the 2 of us have lived by this. And she always said, "Fashion is what looks good on you." Mm-hmm. And while that may be fabulous on her, Kim, you're 5'4", and she's 6 foot. So let's look for something that is right for your 5'4" frame. Yeah. And she's so right.
She's so right. I'm so glad you said that, because since we all are, inundated with social media, many a times, and I'm a very visual person too, I'll go to somebody's house and they'll show me who they want to look like or what they want to dress like. And I say, she's 6'2", and maybe 110 pounds. Yeah. You're just not that. Neither am I. So we can find something that works for you, but it might not be that. But visually, it helps me help them because I know what they're going for.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what they'd like to look like. And there's a way maybe to make them feel like that, but not necessarily in that exact piece, right?
Yes, exactly.
Or that exact style.
It can be misleading. Some people see me off of social media and they say, "I thought you were a lot taller."
Oh, yeah.
And I said, my photographer is really good.
He knows the right angle.
He knows the right angles.
What do you think is one of the biggest mistakes that women make when it comes to styling themselves?
Well, I think what happens is we buy pieces and not looks. And so what you end up in your closet is a lot of pieces and you don't know how to tie them together. So when I first work with somebody, I go to their closet and I see all the pieces so I can then, I want to use what they have. Nobody wants to buy everything new.
Right.
So I try to take those pieces and make outfits out of them and take pictures so people have it on the lookbook, because I think it's very easy to walk in this thing and say, oh, I love that blazer. But then you get home and you're like, I have no idea how to style this.
Right.
And it just sits there. Or you're really trying because you invested some money in it, but it doesn't work.
Right.
That's so helpful, honestly. I feel like I'm constantly trying to figure out, I have all these great pieces, but how do they come together for a finished product?
Sure.
And I think that's very helpful from your perspective.
It is true. And then if that piece doesn't work, then you try another piece. And, and it's not like we always shop to buy full outfits, but it does help when you can put them together and use them almost like a capsule wardrobe in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Are garanimals. Yeah, put the tag. This goes with it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think some people do that. That would be great help.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
the closet from Clueless.
Right, exactly.
I would like that too.
Right. What about the woman who says, "I'm too big to wear fashion"?
Yeah. Too big to wear fashion. Well, there's something for everybody.
Right.
And there truly is. And I think you just have to find it. I think that there's other ways. I mean, there's custom. A lot of people do custom. They think it's outrageously expensive. But I'll tell you what, it makes more sense price point wise because you wear it all the time. It's made for you.
Right.
And so you wear it and then you're not constantly just purchasing things and trying to make it work.
Yeah. I also think, I mean, maybe you agree, I think you'd agree with me, finding the right tailor.
Yes.
And taking, so if you are obsessed with a pattern or a style, but being able to tailor it to your body and not force your body into something that just isn't working for you.
I agree.
So it builds your self-confidence.
Yeah.
I love that you said that. A tailor is probably your best friend.
I agree.
Because as a petite person, I have to get everything hemmed.
Yeah.
And, but I think nobody can really walk out of a store and wear exactly the
it's so
item.
rare.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
So having a tailor do it, and everything tailored looks so much better.
Yeah.
It does. And it can make something that is a lower price point look like a higher price point if it's tailored for your body.
Definitely.
What do you say to women who, I'm going back to this larger thing. I don't know why I'm hooked on this, but that's the kind of day I'm having. Yeah. Right? Women who think they have to cover everything up. This is when I think about you saying, I want to take you to a store and I want to show you what looks good on you. I bet you deal with a lot of women who are wearing something that's really large and makes them look bigger or doesn't, makes them look shorter or whatever the case may be.
Great point.
Yeah.
When you wear something bigger because you're trying to hide, you actually make yourself look bigger.
Right.
And I think that it's a misconception and something that people do wrong.
Right.
And so and it doesn't mean things have to be skin tight, but like you were saying with tailoring or something, just bring it into the waist a little, even a blazer, just a little waist definition makes a huge difference in the way that you look and the way that you feel.
You can emphasize your good stuff.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got good stuff.
Yeah, sometimes it's the legs, so you just wear a shorter skirt, or whatever. Emphasize that point. But really, if you wear bigger, you look bigger.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the trend of oversize, right? Like, I mean, I think that's definitely, I think we're seeing it a lot from Gen Z, from the millennials, and, so I'm curious what your thoughts are there.
Well, for me, I cannot do it. It's like my whole body. It looks odd. But if you're a very tall person, I think that you can pull it off. And I think that oversized how? Like way oversized, maybe not, but maybe a little oversized. There's different variations that you can go. Right. But it's a tricky one. It really is. Some of these are tricky. That's why it's not necessarily a trend for you.
Yeah.
Right. I have one oversized jacket, and every time I wear it, I feel terrible.
Really?
Yes, I'm too small for it.
Yeah, too small.
It just doesn't
You probably
work.
get
find that
eaten up.
tailor.
Yeah, I do. I need to tailor it in like it was a fitted jacket. And I spent all that money for the oversized jacket. That was the problem.
But it's so easy to get caught up in trends because when you see somebody wearing it, you're like, oh, it looks so
Absolutely.
good.
It's so tempting to buy into it, but I agree with you. I think it's just like making sure you know what your body, know what you feel confident in.
Yes, 100%.
So let's talk about your favorite celebrity and style.
Okay. I'm a huge Victoria Beckham fan. I really am. I feel like everything she does is so feminine, yet has a cool edge to it. Fits women absolutely beautiful. The way she tailors things, timeless. A lot of it is timeless and just beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Great. And what about a celebrity? Is there another celebrity that you love their style?
I'm
or
trying
you
to
love
think.
how they...
I don't know. There's so many. I think it just varies, like when you see. I mean, obviously, you know, who doesn't love Sarah Jessica Parker because
Yes,
she
right.
really
Fabulous.
can, no matter what, put things together that you would never think of. Would you ever think of that shoe with that outfit?
No.
Ever. And I know it was a lot of the show, but I think personally that's her vibe. Like that's what she does, and that kind of thing is so cool to see because my brain doesn't work like that necessarily,
Right.
and so that's always a really good one. I don't know. Who do you love?
I was going to ask, what's your favorite red carpet to watch? Because I'm a big red carpet
You are.
person.
I know you are. I know on the red carpet days, I see what you post, and I'm like, yeah, she gets it.
I like to give my own feedback. I mean, it's just on my own social media, but I'm curious what your favorite red carpet.
Well, I do love the Oscars. I am an LA girl, so I grew up in that whole era when that was really glamorous. My grandma used to take me to Saks, and I mean, it was glamorous, you know. So I really do love the Oscars because I love the old school vibe. But you know, people are kind of going off the tracks a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is fun to see. What about you?
I think the Met Gala, honestly, that the first Monday in May, it's just the best. It's where art meets fashion, meets a theme, and I think it's usually done so well, and I love to see everybody's take on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, my daughter works in the fashion world in New York, and in fact is heavily into the Met right now. But her favorite is Zendaya. She thinks she is. You know, I mean, my daughter's 25, so she's looking at a young girl, but she thinks she is so well dressed.
She really is.
So well styled.
Very well styled.
I think she's right. You know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that Zendaya, she just had the movie actually that was filmed here in Boston, and she did
When she was not styled walking down the street, which
Right.
made all of us feel better.
Right, yeah, definitely, absolutely. But I think like having her do the theme of something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue for the
Yes,
red carpets.
right,
I mean,
right,
that's
right.
fantastic.
I know she is really dressed. I mean, some of these celebrity stylists, they're amazing. They
are.
really are amazing.
Yeah.
And they get that dress when they see on the runway, it's gone because they know.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, they know their people
They
and they know
know.
who's going to
Yes.
wear that and
Absolutely.
where they could wear it. Tara, what did you think about being in the magazine?
I mean, honestly, Janelle knows I over the moon.
Good.
Really, I've worked so hard for so many years, and that accolade just means everything to me, like honest to God. So thank you so much.
So well deserved.
I was just going to say
so
the same.
well deserved.
Well
yeah.
deserved. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Terrific to meet you.
Amazing.
This has
Thank
been
you.
a ton of fun. Tara West, hey, by the way, how could people get hold of you if they're watching us?
Well, my Instagram is at Tara West Fashion and TaraWestFashion.com. I also have a podcast called Shorts Beyond Measure. So any of those ways you can reach out.
Fantastic.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. We're going to take a break, everybody. When we come back, another powerhouse woman from Boston, this one writing books. Stay with us. If you're tired of endless swiping, superficial chats, and first dates that go nowhere, it might be time for something different. Allure Matchmaking offers a refined, confidential, and human-centered approach to finding love. For more than 2 decades, executive matchmaker Jill Vander has coached and personally hand-selected matches for successful, discerning singles. No dating apps, no public profiles, just curated, meaningful introductions with people who truly align with your goals, values, and lifestyle. If you're ready to meet someone of your echelon, visit AllureMatchmaking.com and level up your dating life. It was a cold, miserable New England winter, and we all felt the effects. Even our skin took a beating. If you're looking for a fabulous skin refresh this spring, visit my friends at Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa in Beverly and sign up for their 3-session chemical peel package. They use medical-grade chemicals that'll clean your pores and strip your skin of those winter doldrums. And the best part? No downtime. Set up an appointment today. Go to SiennaAesthetics.com. That's SiennaAesthetics.com. Welcome back, everybody, to Kerrigan and Company. Janelle Driscoll keeping me company today. Of course, she's the publisher of Boston Common Magazine, as well as Interiors New England.
Yes.
You're a busy woman.
Aren't we all?
I know our next guest is for sure
Yes.
because she's out on a book tour. And I want to show the cover of the book. Lori Gold has written the book, Kiss, Marry, Kill. And I want to make sure we don't have glare. For those of you who are listening to us and not watching, again, the name of the book is Kiss, Marry, Kill, and Lori Gold is here with us. I love this book. My producer can tell you that I started reading it and I started saying to him, this is crazy. I am telling you, Lori, the very first, well, we won't give away too much, right? But you know what happens. Yeah. I don't need to tell you what happens right off the I started going, what? I got flip. You know, it's just really cool. I love it.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. One of the early reviews call it delightfully wacky. And I was like, that is perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. Yeah. So if you felt that, that's exactly what I was hoping for.
Good, then you've accomplished it, because that's exactly what it is. So, and this is your second book. Well, it's not just your second book. You've written a number of books, I know.
Yeah.
But this is your second big published book.
Well, I have, this is my seventh published book, actually. Okay. My first ones were young adult, right. Also with major publishers, but they were all in the young adult for teenager space. This is my second one that we call book club fiction, so that adult contemporary style. So this is the second one of that.
I like that category.
Yeah.
Book club fiction.
Yeah, it's really, really great. So Kiss, Marry, Kill, that's a game.
It is.
Just for those who don't, maybe don't know.
Right.
What made this come to you?
So a TV show, actually. So Kiss, Marry, Kill is a conversation game, and it's played with celebrities, sometimes your high school, friends or your college friends or colleagues, if you want to get a little risque. But the way it's normally played is one person, you ask them about three people, three celebrities, and out of those, who would you kiss, who would you marry, who would you kill? So they were playing this on a television show, a teen drama that I was watching, and as soon as they started playing, I said, wow, that is such a great hook for a novel. How has no one done this before? But because I like to make things that are big concept and big premises and that will make you keep turning pages, I said, well, I'm going to spin the rules. So instead of one person choosing among three celebrities, I'm going to have three people make a choice out of everybody who is at their summer outing. And it follows three women who are best friends and founders of a health and wellness app. So they play this game at their summer outing. And then the twist is, I will reveal it because it comes early in the book, they wake up in an alternate universe where they've each made the choice that they made at their outing and have to live out those consequences.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And what I think is really cool about the book, just beyond the premise of it, but we're bouncing back and forth. We're bouncing the day before the event occurred or the week before, whatever, and then we're bouncing how many days after the event occurred.
Right.
But you've done it in such a way that you go person by person of the three women, so you don't lose yourself in it. The first thing that I thought, I have to tell you, Lori, once I got into this is a movie.
Fingers crossed. I was going to say. We hope. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it could easily be a movie.
So who's your dream cast for that?
I have to get a better
I don't know if we're jumping ahead here.
Yeah, I don't want to say yet. We'll
okay,
all right,
don't jinx it.
That.
But yeah. Well, I need to pick up a copy too, obviously.
Yeah. So that had to have been interesting. Did you write it storyline per woman first and then intertwine them? How'd you do that?
So this one had one of those big, like I say, one of those big murder boards, when they're in a detective show and they're trying to figure out who the killer is.
Right.
The plotting for this was really intricate because I had to do exactly as you said. I have a present day storyline when they go into this alternate universe, but I wanted people to understand who these women were before this big change happens in their life. So how do we do that if I'm going to have them go into the alternate universe very quickly in the book, which I did it purposefully. I thought that would give you, jump you into the story. It's also going to be on the flap copy, so you're going to know that. So I wanted to get them in this other world really quickly. But who were they before? So flashbacks became the method to do that. The flashbacks changed the most of anything in the book. I plotted the storylines for the three women really intricately. I knew where their character arcs were going to go. I knew the big choice they would each make at the end. That was really planned ahead of time. And then I wrote that first, like the women, one by one, each woman, and then figuring out what are the pieces of them that you really need to know. And I had ideas, but I have a lot of cut scenes because I have a lot more flashbacks that made it into the book. But I wound up centering on the pieces of their lives that impacted them as stressors in their lives the most, which are their relationships and then the forming of this business. And those are the core of the flashbacks in the novel.
I mean,
those are the core, but their friendship is a big part of this novel too.
Yes.
Did you have those friends? And
I have a friendship trio, and I like to say that I was writing this as the friendship trio before White Lotus made it kind of the thing, because they had this whole thing, can you be friends in a trio? But I do think it's rich for, when you are friends in a trio, there are things that you don't know or secrets being kept, not for nefarious reasons, but just because of who you talk to first, or you are sensitive to somebody's feelings or what they're going through. So if one of your friends is going through something tough and you are as well, maybe you hold on sharing that with someone and you share it with the other friend. So I think what winds up in these friendship trios is just a lot of richness and a lot of work for storytelling for me, something to really dig into to tell the story of these women. But I wanted the women and their friendship to be center stage. A lot of books, a lot of entertainment focuses on relationships and families, obviously very important things in our life. And the best friends are sometimes the sidekicks. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted this to be about these women who are ambitious. They're in a position of power with this company about to go public on Wall Street. And there are very few companies that are run and owned by women on Wall Street. I say that in the book. It's true to our real world. And I really wanted to focus on what happens with these women and this friendship when you have this huge stressor on their lives of their company is about to go public and they go into an alternate universe. But I always wanted to come back to the friendship. That's what grounds it as, I think, like a grounded speculative novel, is this friendship and the relationship between the three of them.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Did you pull from your own, speaking from a trio, as being part of a trio, is there hints of that in these characters? Or
the characters are not so much me or my friends, thankfully.
Okay.
But I think where I really pulled from my own life and what I was going through when I was writing this was the theme of the novel, which is choice, and it surrounds kind of, is the grass truly greener?
Right.
And I think for that to be the theme, obviously it makes sense. They make this choice and this weird thing happens to them. So it makes sense. But I wanted to push it a little further to explore like the weight we all put on our choices, because I personally do that. And you think like this job, this, book, this thing, this Target pillow is going to make my life perfect, right? And what happens if it doesn't?
Right.
And so I really wanted to explore that, and I used the three women as facets of choice. One was very much me at the time, couldn't make any choice because I was so afraid of making the wrong choice. One is very judgmental, everything's black and white. She thinks she knows the right choice for everybody around her, including herself and everybody around her.
Right.
And then the other is selfish, and she makes the best choice for her regardless of the consequences.
Right.
So kind of exploring these three perspectives of choice really allowed me to make that the theme of the novel and see how these women would approach things in their life based on what they feel about it.
Well, I have to tell you, because of all the things you've just said and the friendship and that kind of thing, this is a great book club book because there's a lot to discuss. And I think women can, I know I personally could relate to these characters. Due to friendships that I have in my life and who we've all been and that kind of thing. So there's a lot to be said for it. Kiss, marry, and kill. All right. Now, I have to always, I ask every author this. You've explained how this came about. Next book, are you thinking about it? Where is it coming from? And have you written the ending before you start?
I don't write the ending before, but I always know the ending. And
you do.
I always plan. I'm a planner. I came to that after my first book that I wrote over 3 years, and it was like 800 pages for a women's contemporary novel. And I was like, I need to do this better if I'm going to do this again. So I'm a big plotter. I plot out the story, the characters first, then the story, then the twists, and then the ending. So I always know the ending. Things do I don't say they so much surprise you, because I think that makes it feel like there's an outside person and you are the person writing the book. Yeah. Right. I think surprises come or changes come because you're so steeped in this story world that you get better and better ideas. Right. And then you start enacting them on the page. I think the more you're in your story world, the more comes to you and the deeper you can make the connections between these seeds you've already planted. So yes, I am writing something else. I'm very close to finishing it. I just have a few chapters left. I was hoping to finish before doing promotion for this one, but I just couldn't quite get there. Yeah. So it's another kind of friendship, a little bit of a romance kind of built in there, but it's a big ensemble cast. And because I kind of like to, I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, this one has flashbacks and 3 points of view and all this stuff going on. This one is told in interview style.
Oh, my.
So I kind of like doing different narrative forms, and so we'll see how this one goes.
That's
but I'm almost
great.
finished with it.
Oh, well, I'm excited to hear how that ends up.
Well, I love Daisy Jones and the Six, which was written
it.
Yes.
Loves
Interview
that.
format.
So it's kind of a huge inspiration for
Yeah.
me. And that was
Yeah,
one of the things
absolutely.
that inspired me. I want to do that. I want to find the right story to do that with.
Do you miss the characters when you're finished writing?
No.
Very interesting.
I think by the time you finish writing it, you've written it and you've read it so many times. I mean, an author reads their books. I lost count. I mean, but you're
Right.
talking 20, 30 times that you're reading your book at different stages.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this one went through more revisions, so maybe even more than that. And you're kind of ready for them to go on, and you're ready
Yeah.
to enter like a new story world.
Sure, absolutely. I need new friends.
Exactly.
I totally get it. Why an author? Where'd that come from?
I actually was a journalist before. I
okay.
switched to writing fiction. I went to school for journalism, and I wound up in the Boston area and working for a lot of technology journals. Tech publishing was big at the time and still is big in the Boston area. And so I was a tech writer, tech editor, and it wasn't the journalism I wanted to do. And it was kind of hard to break back into that after having done that job for many, many years. And so, as a lark, I was like, well, I read a lot of books. You know what? Let me just give this creative writing thing a try, having never taken a creative writing course in my
That's
life.
fantastic.
What?
I mean, it's definitely.
I think I'll give this a try.
Dive deeper into it.
But I did say the first book, not published, 3 years, 800 pages. I had a lot of
Wow.
learning to do. And that book was kind of like my personal MFA. I learned
Right.
what to do and what not to do from writing that novel,
Sure.
Yeah.
which then made, the next ones that came much easier.
Yep.
I mean,
Who-
it's still hard, but much easier.
Yeah, it is hard. It's very hard. And I'm fascinated by a writer's mind. And every time we have someone here, because
Definitely.
it's just not something that I can do, or I don't think I can do. Who do you like to read, and what do you like to read?
So I'm a big reader of everything. I'll read rom-coms, I'll read fantasy, I'll read science fiction, I'll read book club fiction. I'm kind of an equal opportunity reader.
Yeah.
When it gets down to this genre, which I read a lot of books for kind of research to kind of steep myself in the book club genre, Taylor Jenkins Reid, who I said about Daisy Jones and the Six. Leanne Moriarty, I love. I think she is so twisty. She has what I've trying to do in this book of multiple characters, multiple threads and twists and things that come together in a way that you never see coming. So she's one of my favorites. And I also love exploring like new authors from Massachusetts. A friend of mine has a book coming out today called Your Soul Mail is Attached, and her name is Joan Smith. And it was a wonderful book.
great.
And I love Annie Hartnett's books as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrific.
That's
Great.
fantastic.
Well, I think the book is terrific, and I really do think it should be a movie. And I really,
If you know anybody, let me know.
I gotta find you somebody here. Again, it's Lori Gold, and it's Kiss, Marry, Kill. And Lori, people can get this.
Anywhere books are sold.
Yeah,
great.
there you go. I love that. So good to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on
Congratulations.
an unbelievable
Thank you so much.
career
Yeah,
and
thank
continued
you.
success.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a break, everybody, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up. This is Kerrigan and Company.
If you like rum, you're going to love Rumson's Rum, New England's most award-winning rum brand. Rumson creates distinctive and savory flavor profiles by hand-selecting and marrying the finest barrel-aged Caribbean rums. The spirits are then blended and finished in the New England Rum House. Choose from Rumson's Gold, Spiced, Grand Reserve, or Coffee Rum. Find Rumson's at liquor stores or ask for it at your favorite restaurant. Learn more at rumsons.com. That's rumsons.com. Rumsons. Life lived, life enjoyed.
This segment of Kerrigan and Company is brought to you by Sienna Aesthetics Medical Spa. Take years off your face with the very latest technologies at Sienna Aesthetics in Beverly. Well, it's that time of the show when we wrap things up, and keeping me company today, Janelle Driscoll. This has been so much fun.
Thank you so
We had
much.
Great
I've had a
guests.
blast. Oh my God, they were both incredible. Absolutely fabulous
Yeah,
women.
the book is really crazy.
I can't wait to pick up a copy.
I have to tell you, I'm going to try that Kiss, Marry, Kill game.
Yeah, just, maybe over a glass of wine, a cocktail.
Exactly.
It gets interesting pretty quickly.
Oh, goodness gracious. Boston Common.
Yes.
The April edition is out. I'm going to
Yes.
show everybody again. It's absolutely, I don't think, for those of you who are listening and not looking at it, and it's hard to see in here because it's a very white cover, which
Yes.
I love. It's
It's very stylish. The people in it are very stylish. Debuting our most stylish Bostonian Smithsonian's. It's also the home and real estate. We're taking a deeper dive into some of the most incredible properties that are on the market right now. So
Great.
I hope everyone, whether they can pick up a copy or they can find us online, mlbostoncommon.com, and digital editions are available.
And people can subscribe to the magazine.
Yes, they can.
So I'm sure you can do that online when you get there.
Yes, on the
correct?
through the website. It's
Yep.
right there on the website, and yeah.
And you were just telling us that you guys have decided to go old school. Yes. And you've got a few boxes around, which
We
is
do.
cool.
We just actually put these out, 5 news racks around the city of Boston in strategic neighborhoods. So the 5 neighborhoods are Beacon Hill, South End, Back Bay, the Seaport, and actually the financial district.
Great.
So, yeah. So if you find one of our modern luxury news racks, please pick up a copy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. And, we didn't even get a chance to talk about interiors.
I
New
know.
England.
I'll come back and we'll dive deeper into
Okay.
that.
Absolutely, we will, because I love those magazines.
Oh,
I
my
think,
gosh.
and I especially love them at this time of year coming up, because like you said,
Spring refresh. I mean, there's so much inspiration. You're constantly, I'm constantly trying to, refresh my home, much to my husband's dismay, I'm sure. And anyways, there's pages of inspiration there. So love to come back and chat about that more.
Fantastic. We will do it. Thank you so much.
Thank
Spending time
you.
with you has been a delight.
This has been fantastic. It's so
really-
much fun. What a great way to spend a weekday.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a lot of fun. And we want to thank all of you for being here as well. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, we would like to invite you to subscribe. And if you're not following us on social, be sure you do. We'll see you again next week. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Kerrigan & Company. To find out who will keep me company and be my co-host on the next episode, be sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Kerrigan & Company is recorded at the Big Night Studios at the TD Garden in Boston. You can view the podcast on YouTube and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure you tell a friend. The executive producer of Kerrigan & Company is David Thompson, and our social media managers are Grace Kerrigan, Colby Thompson, and Riley Thompson. See you next time.